Hello, welcome to IDD Talks. My name is Anastasia Lavrina, and today we have a very special guest joining me from Latvia. Sigita Struberga is the Secretary General of the Latvian Transatlantic Organization. Warm welcome to IDD Talks.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. And my first question, how would you describe the current state of bilateral relations between Latvia and Azerbaijan? What are the key areas of cooperation?
So I think we are on really good track, taking in consideration that we are celebrating 30 years of our diplomatic relations, and we see the increase in diplomatic exchanges, but not only limited to diplomatic exchanges. So what we really see is regional cooperation, which is definitely important, taking in consideration the emphasis which is being put on the regional development in both of our countries. So we see those great cooperation between cities. Also, I would like to mention culture and education, which is a very important dimension of bilateral relations between the countries. And here we again see really positive dynamics. On one hand, we see several exhibitions and concerts taking place both in Latvia and in Azerbaijan. And I'm really proud to learn more about Latvian authors to be translated in Azerbaijani language, or to hear more about, for example, Azerbaijani artworks being placed in Latvian museums, which is very important for this type of exchanges. The number of students choosing mobility is increasing as well. So there is really interest in the educational and science exchange as well. So also the final dimension, which I would like to mention, of course, is security cooperation, which is really important for both of our countries. And here we see that Latvia is NATO. Latvia's embassy in Baku is NATO focal point in Azerbaijan. So again, we can put emphasis on regional cooperation in regards of security, taking into consideration that NATO sees Azerbaijan as important partner for promoting security and stability.
So, from your perspective as the Secretary General of the Latvian Transatlantic Organization, what was the most significant outcome of the Speaker Daiga Mierina visit to Azerbaijan? How do you see it impacting the future of the bilateral relations between our countries?
So maybe not really as the Secretary General of Transatlantic Organization, but I would underline, of course, development of economic ties. This is a very important issue, and it was underlined by the speaker during her visit. And this is what we see. It's underlined by several diplomats as well. So economic dimension, definitely. The second point, which I really would like to underline, and here I would jump in as Secretary General of Latvian Transatlantic Organization, of course, is security cooperation, and not security cooperation only in regards of bilateral means, but I really would like to underline security cooperation between Azerbaijan and EU, Azerbaijan and NATO, since Latvia sees its bilateral engagements in framework of EU relations in common EU foreign and security policy, and the same goes to NATO, right? So for this reason, I think here this type of engagements also foster further development of Azerbaijani EU and Azerbaijani NATO relations. That's why I would underline the broader scope. And of course, for EU, one particular topic is increasingly important. It's energy security. And I believe that in the longer term, even if it was not that much, this issue was not extended during this visit, I think this is the the future topic, which we will see more and more discussed between the countries and also between EU and Azerbaijan.
How does the Latvian Transatlantic Organization view Azerbaijan's role in transatlantic relations? Are there any specific areas where you see potential for increased collaboration?
Of course. First of all, of course, the one which I mentioned, energy security, when it comes to European space, but when it comes to transatlantic agenda, first of all, I would like to underline that Azerbaijan is prominent partner of NATO. And in this regards, I would say that NATO also has demonstrated the trust in Azerbaijan as a prominent partner in the region. And taking in consideration the regional security dynamics, of course, there is space for further security cooperation development. And especially when we look on the hostile actions of Iran, for example, at the moment, or need to find a fight against terrorism. Here, of course, Azerbaijan has potential to play even more important role and more active role. Although, of course, as I said, we see that Azerbaijan has done a lot in this regard.
How does Latvia view the strategic importance of the South Caucasus in the broader context of global security? What role does Azerbaijan can play in this regard?
So when it comes to South Caucasus, of course, it is an important region for global security. And we really see the tendency in the global geopolitical landscape when there is this type of, imbalance or insecurity, then those regional power vacuums which occur at certain points might be really dangerous for not only regions themselves, but for the global security. And that's why cooperation with the partners seeking for peace, seeking for peace building and stability is has increasing importance. That's why I think this, let's say, cooperation formats for building peace are very much appreciated.
So, in the context of post-conflict reconstructions in the South Caucasus, what support can Latvia provide to Azerbaijan, and what is being done now?
So there are several dimensions where Latvia can provide support, and this is, by the way, one of the issues which have been discussed by our organization as well. The first, of course, is, for example, issue of women empowerment, and I know that Azerbaijan plays increasing role on women empowerment, especially in regions, especially in Karabakh, and taking in consideration that Latvia has this expertise. This would be one of the dimensions where I find possible to cooperate further. I think there are several other regional cooperation mechanisms, especially for Karabakh, which I would see as development support for development of small business, etc. Which again, I know that Azerbaijan is playing increasing role, taking in consideration the visit I had in Azerbaijan and in Karabakh. In the end of the last year, I really witnessed how much has been done, and exactly those two dimensions were those where I saw great potential for the cooperation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.